Also,
Good day, Parkers and Parkers to be. My name is Mark Garcia,
and I'm Will Roth.
and this is another episode of our PARQ podcast. We're really happy to be here with you again, guys. So today we'll be speaking mainly, and write me if I'm wrong, we'll be speaking about our token economics. We mentioned not that long ago in our Medium and our social channels, we're burning 9 billion tokens. We'll be speaking about that today. We will also speak about our our upcoming project of offering municipalities 20,000 IoT devices for free for them to test, for them to try implement in their cities and make them smarter, greener, and more connected. Let's start from the beginning, if you don't mind. The 9 billion tokens burn. By the way, guys, we aired the contest. You can find it on Medium, you can find it on our Instagram, or Facebook, or Twitter, all our social channels. We just aired one contest. If you take a guess, just take a wild guess on the time of the day we're going to burn those tokens, you will get up to 10,000 PARQ tokens. That's about 1,000 US dollars. So guys, very little effort, bit of luck, big reward. So let's start with the big news. So Will, why are we burning? We're getting this question a lot on our social channels, and I think it's very understandable.
Yeah.
Why are we burning 9 billion tokens?
Well, as you said and wrote very correctly and laid it out in the Medium post, there's three main reasons. One is to, of course, increase the value and strength of our tokens. The second part of it, of course, is that we only want to use the value we received from the actual PARQ tokens. That translates into, of course, transparency. That is something that we highly value between you and us. And the third part is that we, of course, want to make sure that we don't speculate, but we actually deliver the results we put out there. So that's pretty much the three main reasons for the PARQ burn.
Indeed, I think it's very important to stress that we're not here to speculate with our tokens. We're not here to make profit out of thin air, but we only want to use for a green, smart, and connected city platform those tokens that we get for that specific purpose. I think that has a lot to do with our transparency, with one of our main values, as you mentioned very well. And indeed, we're here. Like, of course, when we first started the project, the reality of the markets were very different.
Yeah, I actually read today a very interesting article by Matti Greenspan from eToro, and all of you, of course, know eToro, and we met him during the last IoT and blockchain event here in Amsterdam. And he said, as crypto prices continue to fall, the news coming in from the industry is still resoundingly good. And when we look at our own personal portfolio, putting all the crypto world aside for a second, and I know that it's not easy to do so, is that we look at continuous growth for the company, both with municipalities, and as Mark said initially, we'll get to our newest project with municipalities, but also with the approaches that we're seeing from both upcoming investors and both public and private. So for us, after sitting with both our investors, with our advisors, and of course getting your feedback, we had to put all of your recommendations in perspective and decide accordingly to all of the different elements combined. And that's the way we do business here in Parksen. It's important for us to make sure that there is no daylight between our customers, our investors, and our team by building a good concrete strategy that aligns all of it together.
Exactly, that's correct, and that's basically what led us to this big burning Guys, I encourage you to visit our social channels, look for our latest posts, and just take a wild guess on the time we're gonna make the token burn and take advantage of this, I think, simple way to get some extra PARQ. So speaking about our token economics, we're gonna speak about the token allocation.
Yeah.
After this burning, so Parkers and Parkers to be will have a major, more detailed insight of what we do. So Will, would you mind giving us a quick overview? What are we going to do with those Parkies?
So first of all, what we decided is that since we've been changing and the burning of tokens, as you mentioned, it was a big decision here. So it influences our token distribution. And those who go on our site, and I recommend you will see an updated token distribution and use of proceeds on the website. And you will see that our pre-sale, of course, is stated at 5%. Our public sale is on 20%. So those 25% represent that token sale. We do reserve 5% for airdrops and hodlers. And the reason for the 5% for the airdrop and hodlers is we want you to stay with us, to continue with the journey with the company. And we have a slogan that we use here in the company, that the ICO is not the end, but the mean to the end. So it's just another part of the road that we have to do, and collecting this rich investors and community alongside it as we grow within Europe and globally afterwards. Beyond that, of course, bounty program is still at 2%. Our charity fund, this is something that is really exciting. We will talk about it in later episodes. And the reason for that is that I really haven't seen that many companies, let alone ICOs, that reserve a percentage for charity. Indeed. And as we say, it's charity you can measure, but we'll get to that in the future. Private sale is on 3%, business development 4%, founders and team 5%. And it's important to put into account with that is that for founders and team, our tokens there are locked and for 30 months. So beyond the end of the ICO, so to guarantee that all of you know that we are here, nobody is running anywhere, it stay as it is. Another 15%, of course, goes for app and platform development. Marketing is 20%, and our Smart City Project Fund is at 20%. Now, it's important for me to clarify that the only two parts that are unlocked, so it means that after the ICO is over, it's open, you can use it immediately, are for bounty and referral, and of course for the private sale, for those who are in the private sale. And so the private sale and the bounty, as you know, in most ICOs is something that everyone are doing, is to make sure that those who trusted us to begin with are rewarded with us just as much as we give the discounts for pre-sale and so on. And of course the bounty, those who continuously work and strengthen us along the way. With the others, for example, the airdrop for hodlers is locked for 18 months, but it is released after 6 months. 25% of it is released, and then continuously every 6 months we're releasing more and more to make sure that those who are really holding the tokens and are really building our community that we want, the real parketeers that go along side by side with us as we take our project and our work forward. You need to be rewarded, and we hear that, and we build that for you guys.
Trust pays, indeed.
Yeah, and with the rest of them, as I mentioned, with the team members, of course, development, marketing, and the rest are locked for 30 months and are scheduled to only be released on a low percentage of 10% after 6 months. Of course, so we can spend money on the marketing.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, we are having that assurances from you for a reason, so we could grow and continuously increase our abilities. But we keep it locked, and we only use some of the funds in a very moderate and calculated manner to make sure that you guys know that we're not just buying Lumbos all over the place. We're using the money actually for what we're saying, and this is why you will not see us just redraw all the funds collected. We make it in a measured approach.
Okay, so thank you very much for this detailed insight, this detailed information. I'm sure Parkers and Parkers to be are really going to appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, you can find all this information in one of our latest posts on Medium, in which you can find links to our white paper, to our one-pager, to our token economics in a very strong detail. So first of all, I would encourage you to go through all our documents. And second, of course, and as we always say, feedback. Just get to us, let us know what you think about it and your experience. Let us know how you feel about the project. We love it, and it really helps us take decisions. So we are going one step further. So I think some city mayors might be listening to us. Some really happy city mayors are listening to us right now. If not, they should. They definitely should. Because Parksen is giving away for free, I will say this again, for free, 20,000 IoT devices for municipalities.
Up to
20,000, exactly.
It's just because some municipalities are relatively small, and 20,000 they'll have to just put it all over the place.
Exactly. If you have 500 inhabitants, maybe you don't need 20,000 IoT devices. Indeed, up to 20,000 IoT devices. Why are we doing this?
Well, I think that a lot of people, and especially if you're not coming from either a long investor background or from finance, the idea of free usually translates to, they just don't make any money out of it. They don't have any return of it. But if you remember, the last episodes we actually explained what is the profit margin that we're actually bringing, that ROI, that return on investment, back to our current investors, and of course to our investors as Parksen started from 2014. So we already get 5% kickback fee from every parking session that happens. It could be also 3% or 7%. It really depends on the municipality and the terms, but it's usually around 5%. Now, we want to deploy those IoT devices for two main reasons. One, we know that the faster we digitalize our infrastructure, the better the cities actually see the results that are happening, and it allows us much better insight to adjust technology-wise, and of course from municipal taxation and so on, as parking is taxpayers' money, the prices as well. And that's one part. Second part is that we understand that the more IoT devices we deploy, the more customers we have, the more, of course, partners we have. And that already translates, as I mentioned, with the 5% kickback fee for every parking session. So there is a financial reason for that. And of course, it doesn't pay it all in a day, but thanks to you guys and thanks to our investors, it allows us to have a bit more freedom to give up to 20,000 IoT devices for city projects. And I can give you one main example. We have it here in Amsterdam right now, and that's a project that we're in negotiations at the moment with the municipality of Amsterdam. And we told them, you can use up to 20,000 IoT devices, and we can take part of the city, make a pilot project out of it, and prove to you how critical it is to mass deploy those IoT devices to give you better view of the projects. And this is something really exciting because the fund that the municipality of Amsterdam has for smart city projects is around 4 million euros. And that's quite an amount. And that's just Amsterdam. Now, think that we could be going to Berlin or Munich or New York or other cities throughout Europe and, of course, the world. Those amounts are accumulating together into quite a substantial investment in infrastructure. Something that, at least here in the European Union, we have it with the 10T, which is a 19 billion euro fund, which we are also approaching that project enthusiastically with the option of delivering up to 20,000 free IoT devices.
I'm the chief of transportation and parking of Barcelona. I'm interested in these IoT devices. What can I get out of them? What can these IoT devices do for me?
So what they can do for you is to give you already the intel, the intelligence about what is happening in your city. So those IoT devices, we say IoT. What they do is to actually tell you that if you have an area of the city that is congested, you can really look live at the hours it's congested, why it's congested, and adjust your infrastructure in a more intelligent manner. What municipalities are doing now is that they're guessing. The city center is always busy and there's no parking, therefore we'll spend a few millions on new parking spots, $1 billion on a new highway, and so on and so forth. Why? Why guess when you can already have the data in front of you? And that big data is so crucial to both the municipality, but yes, also for you, parketeers, and our clients out there that just want to know and adjust their times accordingly. And if you can see already live that your way towards the meeting place, let's say in the center of Amsterdam, is amazingly clogged, you can already adjust and go to a different area and reach your meeting on time and with no fuss.
So you can take an alternative way based on congestion.
Exactly. And if we go back to the municipality, it doesn't end just with smart and intelligent approach to upgrading the infrastructure. It also goes to day-to-day real critical moments for emergency services such as the fire engines and ambulances and the police that will go through a street that is completely blocked and completely jammed, and or to go to a house and to try to put out a fire, but with all the cars around it, if they went through a different road, they could have approached the fire more easily. We can give that intelligence, and that big data is at the end of the day the critical part, the critical element that most municipalities today lack.
I think that's very interesting. I think you managed to convince me. Please give me 20,000 IoT devices.
Up to.
So yeah, of course, we're trying to back to my normal person, back to the normal Mark you guys know. We're contacting major municipalities and not so major municipalities to let them know about this initiative we're holding. Guys, if you know about some municipality, if you have contacts or yourself, you work in any municipality, any regional, local government, and you're interested, you can of course reach us through our social channels or through support@PARQtoken.com, and we will be more than pleased to tell you more about it. And I believe we're running out of time, so parkers and parkers to be out there, we wish you a very pleasant week. If you have any questions, any doubts, if you want to give us any feedback, you know our social channels are always open 24/7 and we love feedback.
And of course, if you have any topics that you would like us to talk, such as the charity part, what exactly our plan is with the issue of hodlers, and pretty much anything, just let us know. We would love to set a time for another episode and talk about those issues.
Exactly.
But as Mark said, till then,
Bring it up. Godspeed. Bye-bye.